Hi, my name is Jan Ragnrud. I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Optimizing Your Website with Entrepreneur Press and McGraw-Hill, out in the bookstores now. I am excited that you're here. Hello and welcome, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Jan coming at you here. Actually having a cold brew here today on this fine Friday footage. That is very rare for me, but hey, it happens, right? And so hey, coming at you here from live studios, new studios here in Los Angeles, over in the Manhattan Beach, El Segundo area in California. Very nice, hot days here today, and wow, hot topic here today. I'm going to be talking about Facebook and lookalike audiences, a powerful model, a powerful perspective in which you can create audiences to present traffic and opportunities for leads and sales through what we call targeted audiences. Right now, lookalike audiences have to be tested and validated, just like anything you do online. But ultimately, once you have vetted an audience, which is what we call a base source audience, which could be website visitors, it could be people who have engaged with your pages, people who have engaged with your videos, folks who have, maybe you have created an email list and you've uploaded these lists already. Well, these are base sources that essentially now you can create lookalike audiences from those. And simply put, that is Facebook's way of presenting more data to you for your ads that are similar to the existing base source that you have already set up. So, the non-technical version, right? But hey, let's go through this here today. I'm pretty excited because this is an opportunity for you to really expand your traffic, but also as you have, as I said, vetted the base data for you to scale. Scaling is absolutely key. Any business wants to scale, but warning, right? This is the curveball here. Do not scale until you have vetted these base sources, these data sources out the gate. So let's actually dig in here. This is Friday footage. It's been a while. In fact, let me just take a quick second here. I know some of you have asked where I've been. Well, I've been here in Los Angeles. I was actually in San Diego last week, had a great interview there. I'll tell you more about that later. It's coming up with my friend Jason Horning, the master at Facebook ads and strategies for business development. But I also have been moving, which of course is just a hellacious kind of exercise in itself, but it's working out. So I'm here close to the offices now. And hey, that's how it is going on in my life right now. All right, well, hey, without further ado, let's dig in. And by the way, thank you coming in on Media and Marketing podcast here. If you are traveling, driving around, or whatever you all are doing, hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for all the love. Thanks for the shares. Thanks for the likes, the comments, and also, hey, I would love it if you subscribe. We have some great podcasts here, and I started this back in January. And I was doing daily here at almost every day for months on end, and then sort of spaced this out. And for the last week or so, I've just been off the grid almost here when it comes to the podcasting. But we're just kind of ramping up slowly here again today. So yeah, appreciate it. Once again, let's dig in here. All right. So we're just looking at one of my accounts here. This is a dummy/test account here. Actually, I shouldn't say that. This is some actual data we're running here. We do events for organizations and associations, specifically in the B2B/B2C hybrid space. And so what we're doing is we're basically scaling this up. Now we have a training program that we're promoting. And one of the ways we can do that, as I said, with the scaling is to create lookalike audiences. So the base sources that I mentioned is what you need to have established, but you can easily go out here and create lookalike audiences by going into the Facebook Ads Manager. And I'm not going to click the menus here, but essentially you go under audiences, and then you'll see this, right? So audiences, custom, lookalike, and saved audiences. Now, I'm not going to get into these others, but lookalike audiences are the ones we're covering here today. And why don't we get my smiley old face on here? How are you? If you're coming in on YouTube, hey, great, good for you. We're basically distributing this in multiple locations, as you've seen before. This is episode 124, and let's dig in. So first thing you do is head on out to Facebook Ads Manager, click on the Audiences tab, get in here, and then select a lookalike audiences. In this case, the source rather is the pixel. So we're just saying, hey, for anybody who came to our website here that we're tracking this pixel on, we want to set that up as the initial source for the lookalike, right? Now, this here, as I said, it can be different sources. It can be people who, this could be your email list, right? Very common, by the way. And if you have that, you'll see that the purchase data points are going to start to show. But right now we don't have any purchases because we do offline engagement. So don't have to worry too much about that. All right. And then next, we're going to simply say, select the region. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the countries here. And we're going to go North America and we go United States. So you can obviously go global on this. We're just going to do the US right now. And then number of lookalike audiences. And what we like to do out the gate is, and again, this is all dependent on where you are at in the spectrum here. But what we like to do is to set up a base lookalike audience of 1%. And typically that yields around 2 million. And let's take a look here. Yeah, 2,160,000. In this case, it's a 1% lookalike audience from that association events pixel that we have out on our website. And by the way, this was generated mostly by paid traffic, right? So we have some organic traffic, but this is paid traffic. And it really ultimately doesn't matter to Facebook, right? Organic, paid, what have you. But that pixel has to be built. And to create these, we want at least 100 entry points into that data set to make this valid. We like to go higher. And so we have several hundred, 500 or 1,000. We just did one today that had over 1,000. Basically, the way that this works, and if you sort of think about data science in general, the more data you have, right, to give to the algo or to give to these engines, whether it's Facebook or Google, what have you, the better it is, because frankly, then they can select and choose and add, manipulate, and select and filter those data points into their algos, into their backend to provide a better data set for you, which is exactly what you want. So, and again, we have different ways to scale this up. We can go all the way to 10%, as you see here, which is some 21 million folks. Well, we don't want that right now because we're also in the early trenches of building out this association events paid media campaign. But we're at the stage now where we're actually going to create a lookalike audience to really expand it and to also find more of those profiles that are similar to the ones that we want. And the ones that we want are people engaged that want to book an appointment. So we don't have a buyer channel here. This is not a sort of an e-commerce transaction-based system, but we know that we want these people who are similar to the ones who have engaged. Okay, so then we set that up as 1%. And literally all you have to do now, this is how simple this is, right? Is to create audience, and off it goes. And as you can see here on the good old screen, I'm gonna kind of zoom in a little bit here, get my face out of the way. And here we can see at the very top, we have the lookalike audience. And by the way, it says it's too small. It says it's 100. Okay, so we're basically a little bit too early on the gate here. But so you need 100. But ultimately, once you select this audience here, you select the events with value. As I said, we don't worry about that. Then you select the audience location and select the audience size. All you have to do now is create that audience and off it goes, right? But we actually have this. So yeah, okay. So you know what? This is a test account here. I thought this was one of the production accounts, but it is not. Because we have more than 100 people in the actual production account. So apologize for that. But you know what? It's death by demo or demo by death. Either one works for me. Ultimately, what we're saying here is there is a simplicity around the concept of having a data source and create a lookalike models through lookalike audiences is Facebook. That now is just simply new targeting options for you in terms of that audience selection. All you can do now is to go and create a copy of that ad set, and whatever that base source was for you, just go ahead and select this new lookalike audience here. And let me get myself back on here. And so you create that lookalike audience as a new targeted audience for you. which is very similar to, but again, a much more expansive grid into the 2 million plus that allows you to test and validate this. And again, it doesn't stop there, right? Because you want to continually test these audiences, but also test the ad sets and the ad creatives within those. One of the great strategies that you can use here is if you have vetted all this data, as I keep referring to, you can use what's called dynamic creatives, right? To create multiple images, create multiple headlines, multiple copies of the text ad, if you will, and the headlines, etc. And let Facebook, even though it's not a quote unquote A/B tested model here, it allows you to use what's already been vetted and use those creatives and expand into this lookalike audience situation that can really get you, obviously more data, but also get you to a place where you can validate those KPIs against your goals, because it's all about math and psychology. I talk a lot about that here on this podcast, and that will allow you to, scale up the winners and pause the losers. So anyway, this is a quick Friday footage here. We've been excited to get back here, and I'm excited to have a cold brew here. I hope you'll join me in doing so at some point. But either way, really glad to be on here and to come at you from the new location here and to be able to share this information, because frankly, this is information that you can use when you are scaling up your business with lookalike audiences and Facebook. And with that, I just want to close out, say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for really just validating all the trainings on all the communication from this end. Just love you for that. Appreciate it very, very much. And by the way, your action item right now is to go out here and head on into Facebook. This is my screen over there, so I'm pointing there, and then create a lookalike audience, dupe that existing ad set, and then add this lookalike audience and test it against the current creatives before you get too wild there, right? Very basic stuff, but very powerful. Add a little bit of extra money. You can create rules and set up sort of points of turn off or turn on automatically. But initially, unless you're dealing with huge budgets here, just watch it. Come in here daily. Let it run for 2 or 3 days before you make a decision. People tend to turn things off way too early. You're going to see probably numbers that are kind of wacky. Your CPA might actually not even be close to where you're thinking in the 24-hour period. But lo and behold, in the 48 plus hours period, it's starting to balance out, and you're starting to get sales. And also beware of those vanity metrics at the top, CTR, CPMs, etc. Yes, you want to watch trends here, clearly, but ultimately, don't turn things off too soon. So with that, thank you, and hey, let's see you on the next broadcast. And if you have any questions, please submit them to me at support@chaosmap.com, or just go ahead and add a comment on the YouTube channel, and I'll get it.
Hi, my name is Jan Ragnrud. I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Optimizing Your Website with Entrepreneur Press and McGraw-Hill, out in the bookstores now. I am excited that you're here.